When a child has a book, they can travel through time, journey to distant lands, and choose any adventure they want. But for some families without money, those adventures are put on hold. My next guest is hoping to change that, one child and one book at a time. Here with the Barbara Bush Literacy Foundation Houston is her son, and part of the reason why education was so important to her, Neil Bush. Good morning.
Thank you, Deborah, for having me.
Good to see you.
It's great to be with you again.
All right, before we get into what the foundation's doing right now,
yes.
We know that this weekend a lot of us heard that your mom was dealing with some tough health issues. So how's she doing now?
You know, my mom is pretty resilient. She's lived an amazing life. We're going to talk about her passion for literacy. And when I was a kid, you know, she would read to me and my siblings. I've had the privilege over the last, probably 4 or 5 years, ever since Dad's been going in and out of the hospital, of reading to them. And so recently we've been reading books about Dad's foreign policy, and most recently Mom's memoir, so the Barbara Bush memoir. And as my mom has become more and more frail, she's not able to walk anymore and take her dogs out and that kind of thing, we have quality time. And actually I've been sharing this quality time with other family members and friends that come by to read. And to read the story of their amazing life together has been a remarkable blessing for me personally as a son, to kind of relive some of the, because Mom has said that she's been on the most amazing adventure with married to George Bush for 73 years. They've been married. It's
the longest of any presidential couple.
Yeah,
right?
So to be able to relive those moments from their marriage through the presidency, through their post-presidency, has been a real blessing, and it's a reminder of just what a fabulous woman she is. And what a great life they've lived, and what a great life we've experienced, and how much they've done for so many others, including her favorite topic, literacy, which is what I'm proudly kind of bearing the legacy here in Houston, carrying it forth.
You know, I was with Jenna, your niece, just over a year ago, and at that moment, we weren't sure what was going to happen with your dad. And Jenna talks about the whole family came in, and then all of a sudden she said he was fine. Yeah. So you never know. They made it tough stuff.
My dad's been so resilient. It's amazing. So Mom, she heard on Monday there was a press release put out that the family's surrounding her. She's got all this love and whatever, as though that her demise was like immediate. And so she's been answering the phone when people call in and saying, "Hello, this is yes." Don't believe everything you read or you hear,
And what I know of your mom over the last, I think, 30 years that I've known her, we were at an event at not so long ago, and people were making a big fuss about her, and she goes, "Go on, don't make a big fuss out of me."
That's exactly the way she is. And she's vowed to live at least one day longer than Dad. And Dad, who's been up and down, is up, and he's not going down anytime soon. So. Yeah, Mom. Anyway, we'll see how long Mom has left to live, or Dad. But they've both lived amazing lives, and Houston, I think, is really kind of risen up and shown lots of love to them.
Yeah. One of the things that your parents did was passed on to you what a life of service is.
Yes.
And you've passed that on to your children as well, all the grandchildren. In fact, the building we're in right now is the building for Big Brothers Big Sisters. Yes. And your son, Pierce, is the CEO of this. And of course, his name is Pierce, which is?
Barbara Pierce, yes. Yeah. You're going to make me cry now talking about my kids. No, I'm really proud. I mean, I believe America is going to be so much better off if every family establishes a culture of service to others. In my family, because of my grandfather and grandmother, my mom and my dad, and now the next generation down are all embracing this notion that you got to think of something bigger than just yourself in your daily life, and do something good for others every day. Yeah. So I'm really proud of that culture that Mom and Dad have cemented in our family, that it's trickled down. Maybe not trickled, it's flooded down into Pierce, who runs Big Brothers Big Sisters.
Your daughter Lauren?
My daughter Lauren, who runs an operation called Feed. She's about to have a baby, by the way, in May. So there's so many blessings in our lives. But the blessing of being able to serve, to let that light that burns in you to help someone else shine brightly, to be a point of light in the lives of others, is something that's just such a great gift, not to just to the person you serve, the mentee or the kid that you read with or whatever, but your heart grows bigger, you live longer, and you're a point of light. You are.
Well,
you highlight so many wonderful things happening in Houston, and that's such a blessing to Houston.
Thank you.
You're a blessing to Houston.
When I first met you, I think about 15, maybe 20 years ago, actually, you made me cry.
The difference is I'm looking older, and you're looking so much younger. Look at his flex.
Okay, all right. I'm not going to tell you my secret. All right. But talk about make somebody cry. When you shared the story of why education education is so important to your mom.
Yeah.
It was a mother's love for her son. You struggled in the beginning, and when your mom found that out, I know when I go to my son's principal's office, but something tells me when Barbara shows up at a principal's office, it's a little bit different. But that's when she tackled the bull by the horns, and this issue became very important to her. If you don't mind, share with folks the story of how when you were just a little boy struggling to learn how to read.
Yeah, I can't even remember what grade. I think I was in like 3rd grade, and Mom came to a reading day. So there was a reading circle. All the kids had a book, and they were passing the book kid to kid. It got to me, and I couldn't read the words. So the kid to my left pitched in and helped out. The kid to my right helped. My teacher helped. And Mom realized that day that I was reading illiterate. I couldn't read at the grade level, age-appropriate level at that time. And this is before dyslexia was really a common word in our literacy jargon. So she tried to find any remedy for me she could. So on Saturdays, it wasn't
that you couldn't learn, she would say.
No,
you had to teach him how he learns.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was, but we didn't even know how kids that had learning disabilities could overcome their disabilities. So she tried everything. We went to program after program. I had at least 3 different programs on Saturday mornings that I would go to while my friends are out playing baseball or basketball or doing fun things. And so my mother struggled with me, but she never gave up hope. And I didn't do well in school until I started, I matured as a person, and I have a theory that you grow out of some conditions. I don't read as fast as some of my peers do today, but I read well. And as soon as I could pick things of interest, so Sports Illustrated, Sporting News, or in college, I did well in college after the first couple of years.
Got your master's, right?
Got a master's eventually. So as soon as you could, pick the topics of interest to you, your reading comprehension goes up.
Yeah.
Anyways,
and we've shared that my son's dyslexic also, and used to scream when you pulled out a book, and he would cry. But then, now he knows how to read because there was that intervention. Okay, there are a lot of kids who don't have dyslexia, but they don't have books in the home to help them get used to reading and understand what reading can do for them. And so that's why this foundation was put into place. And there are several things that you all do to make sure that you can get those books in the homes. 3 in 5 Houston children lack reading readiness skills. That's for a reason.
It's amazing. 61% of kids that go into kindergarten are pre-assessed of not having the skills that prepare them to learn. And then too many kids go from kindergarten through 3rd grade without developing the skills. In fact, only 24% or 18%, of kids pass the 3rd grade reading test with reading competency that is predictive of their future success. 24% fail a test that requires 20 out of 40 questions. And if you can't pass that 3rd grade reading test, it's a clear indicator of the challenges you're going to have graduating from college or being prepared for graduating from high school, being prepared for college or the workplace. So we've got to come together. There's no doubt every kid, even learning disabled kids, can succeed as readers, and we have to intervene in so many different ways. So the Barbara Bush Houston Literacy Foundation, under the leadership of Dr. Julie Baker Fink, has mobilized the community around 2 critical objectives, and there's much more that's being done by lots of organizations. We're gathering books and distributing books so that kids that don't have home libraries, over 60% of kids, low economic kids, don't have 1 book in their home.
Because parents are putting food on the table.
They've got
they don't have
so
extra
many
money.
other priorities, and it's not part of the culture of that family to establish reading. They don't hear the same number of words, by the way, either. So we have a My Home Library program where if you go on the Bush Houston Literacy.org website, look for volunteer or look for ways you can help, you can pay for $30. You can procure a home library of 6 books that a kid in a public school, a low-income kid, who has picked 6 books of his or her liking. You can provide that kid with that home library.
And you encourage parents to read with your children, read aloud to them.
So the reading is so critical. Kids reading is the key predictor and indicator of their future success, academic success. And having a reading mentor, having a loving parent, having somebody guide and nurture that reading is so important. So there's a way every Houstonian can help. We've raised a volunteer corps of over 5,000 people so far, but the need need is tremendous. And we have Julie Fink has organized with HISD kind of this Read Houston Read program where you can go read to a kid 30 minutes a day in school or do it online.
And get them excited about reading as well.
So I would urge, if you're not involved in a cause that really turns you on, there's nothing that turns me on more than helping a little kid become a competent reader and knowing that that's not going to just affect that kid's future trajectory, but every generation that follows.
Competent reader and a confident reader.
Right.
So when the book is passed to them, that they can read, right? So both. Tell us about the Curiosity Cruiser.
Curiosity Cruiser is a fabulous. So a couple of years ago, we started at the Barbara Bush Houston Literacy Foundation the Ladies for Literacy Guild, which I believe you might be a part of, which we appreciate very much. But immediately 100 ladies signed up from day one, and now we have over 250 ladies. And so their first fundraiser was devoted to raising money to build this cruiser, this kind of a converted UPS type truck that is loaded with books and programming. So they donated this cruiser to the Harris County Public Library, and so there's a professional driver/curriculum lady that drives this truck through neighborhoods. They're going to community housing projects. They're going to libraries where the libraries were destroyed by Harvey.
It's like a magnet for these kids. They love it. Something exciting for them,
I used to love the candy or the ice cream truck that would come to the neighborhood. What's the same
I love the reading is fundamental truck that came to the neighborhood.
Well, the kids that get books from this truck keep the books. So the ladies have gathered hundreds of thousands of books, and they're giving those books away through the Harris County Library.
And it's not only the skill of reading, but certainly the fact that a book can take you around the world and let you know what possibilities are out there for you. You have the 24th annual celebration of reading, all kinds of events that are tied to that.
This Thursday we have amazing authors coming in. Jim Gaffigan, who's very funny. Clive Cussler, who's a kind of a well-known fiction writer. Governor Kasich, who's governor of Ohio, ran for president, believes in kind of working together across the aisles. And we have a C.K. Curley, who is an ebook writer, talks about the future of AI and big data and all these amazing things. And we have Candace Millard, who's a historian. We have a fabulous lineup of authors, and so there are still tickets available, like in the cheap seats. But we'd love that. We'd love that.
I'll be in the cheap seats.
We'd love. You're coming as my guest.
All right.
We'd love to have you come and join us. It's a fabulous event. Celebrates reading, and we'll probably have a little extra celebration for Mom this particular time.
And I just want to round out with, I have so many great memories that I've shared with your mom. She was honored at UNICEF a couple of years ago, and after her speech, she was determined to get off the stage by herself. And she was walking, and it was silent, and she was trying to work her way off the stage, and I thought, let me fill the time. And I said, you're such a great American, and you represent the point of light that America does to the world. And then I thought, let me just sing a song so I can give her time to get off the stage. Of course, I picked the totally wrong song to sing to a former First Lady, the national anthem. And then, of course, she turned around and she slapped her hand on her heart, and she was like, I'm like, oh, good, she stopped. So but we did that, and people started applauding, and so it gave her time to get off the stage. But I loved that grit that she had. She was like, no, don't help me. I'm getting off the stage by myself. And so we wish her the best of luck, your family the best of luck. We certainly know that, all of us, death and taxes, by the way, due today, but it's coming to all of us. But it's not about how much life you have left, it's how you've lived your life.
Yes, exactly. So, she's lived a beautiful life. Thank you.
Thank you. I love you.
We love you.
All right. Thanks. A celebration of reading is happening this Thursday at the Hobby Center starting at 6:30 p.m. For more information, you can call this number, 713-467-2812, 713-467-2812, or log on to bushhoustonliteracy.org, bushhoustonliteracy.org. That way you can even donate money if you can't make it.